What is going on, guys? It's Friday, which means we're back again for another 5-Minute Fridays. Now, I did forget to do a video last Friday because I was actually doing another vlog and I just totally forgot about it. We're talking about 5 things that's going to help with your mixing. What is going on, guys? Mikey B from MikeyBBeats.com back again with another video. Going hard all 2020 to bring you guys content to help you go further in your producing career. If you are not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I post a video. Tip number 1, and probably the most important one out of everything I'm going to talk about today, is high quality sounds. Now, I'm sure you've heard me preach it before in many videos, but having high quality sounds really sets you up out the gate to have a good quality mix on all your beats. If it's one thing you're going to invest in when it comes to producing, it doesn't matter if you have crazy speakers, a crazy desk, MIDI controller. None of that matters. At the end of the day, what really matters is having good high quality sounds. VSTs like Omnisphere, Contact, and of course just high quality drum kits. Tip number 2, and also very important, is volume control. This is another very important aspect when it comes to mixing, and it's always the first thing that I do before I do anything else to my beats. You always want to make sure your drums are standing out over your melodies and your leads, and you want to make sure that your melodies and leads are still loud enough to where you can still hear them. So the first thing that I always do when I am done orchestrating my beat and I'm ready to start mixing it, I always starts with my kicks and 808s first. I want to make sure my kicks and 808s are at a good volume, they're punchy, they stand out in the mix. Then I start adding in my hi-hats, I start adding in my snares and blending them together. And then at the end, I actually start adding in my melodies and my leads. So when I'm done with volume control, the third step is EQing. And the first thing I always EQ is my melodies and my leads. It's very important that you cut the low ends out of all your other instruments other than your 808s and your kicks. For my melodies and leads, I like to cut at about the 200 hertz range. And then for my kicks and 808s, I actually like to roll off the low ends, so that way they're just not so overly bassy. For my hi-hats, I actually like to roll off the high ends, and I cut about in the 4,000 hertz range for the low ends. A lot of people don't know this, but believe it or not, hi-hats still have a low end sound to them. And if you listen to them in like a car with like a system and stuff like that, sometimes you can still hear that low end thumping on hi-hats. Snares, I also cut out low ends anywhere from the 200 to 500 hertz range, depending on which snare I'm using. If it's a clap, if it's a Drake style snare, it really depends. Tip number 4, and probably one of my favorite ones that I ever learned because I never really thought about it, but panning. When you go and watch like an orchestra and you're sitting out in the crowd, every instrument's not dead center. An orchestra is spread out. So on one side you might hear strings, on the next side you might hear brass, and then you got percussion off on this side, and so on and so forth. You can apply this same technique to your beats. There's times where I will pan certain percussion a little bit to the left, and I might pan another different type of percussion a little bit to the right. I like my leads to be down the center and sometimes my melodies out wide. There's plenty of charts on Google that you can look up and kind of see exactly how it's spread. And last but not least, but probably the most important, take a break when you are mixing. When you've been mixing all day, or you've been mixing a track for like non-stop for so long, you start to forget exactly what a good quality mix sounds like. Take a break, get on YouTube, listen to some other music, go to another project and listen to that, or start mixing that one and kind of jump back and forth. Or what I like to do is I just like to take a 30-minute break, walk outside, get some fresh air, maybe grab something to eat, something to drink, and come back with fresh ears. So this has been another episode of 5-Minute Fridays. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Like I said, if you were not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I post a new video. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and hopefully I see you guys on the next video.